Hello guys, how you doing today? Um, Good to have you guys. I'm excited to be here. Welcome to another interactive session. So today I'm supposed to have a couple of people joining us for the show, and hopefully it should be a great show. So I will be having Lola. I'll be having Instablog bringing their audience as well. And hopefully we'll have a wonderful time. But tell me your name and the city you are joining me from. So let me have an idea, those who are here. Okay? Let me see. So who are those who are here? Your name and where you're joining me from. So I think I have Peculiar here as well. If you are here, send me like okay, I have Akintayo from Ibadan. I have Afeoluwa Dara from Osun, Adeyeye from Lagos, Yang from Abuja. How's Abuja, Yang? Okay, how's President Buhari doing? I had he traveled. Okay, so who else is here? Abisola from Ibadan. How are you today? Cedar Real Estate Consultant. So you sell real estate in Ibadan, is that correct? Kokoma from Abuja. Kokoma from Abuja. Kokoma from Abuja is here. Okay. Who else is here? Adekunle from Osun. Adekunle, how are you today? Okay, who else is here? Let me see those of you who are here. So today, as usual, we're going to be discussing real estate. That's what I do. I love real estate. I eat real estate. So I think you should join Sophia. And you can ask the questions because Lola is not here. Okay. But you can't do it from here. By the way, Instablog is not here yet. Why? You need to do it from the lounge because of to avoid it. Yimika Brown. How are you today? Lekon Raji, where are you joining us from? Lekon Raji. Okay, where are you joining us from? Lekon Raji. Let me see. Right, where is Lekon Raji joining from? So who else is here? Tomiwa from Ondo. Okay, how are you, Tomiwa? Good to have you. Tomiwa from Ondo, good to have you here. Thank you for joining as well. You're welcome, and it's good to have you guys here. Okay, you're welcome. So, like I said, we're discussing real estate. I have a team who is going to be interviewing me. So, Sophia is here.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sophia. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you? How's your day been?
My day has been fine. Oh, thank God. God has been faithful. So, Instablog, if you can hear me, you probably need to. Okay, I think they've done that because I think Instagram has this policy of if you don't like the page, you might not be able to show up and things like that. So we still have Lola that will also join us later in the course of this conversation.
Okay.
But good to also have all of you from Instablog joining us. So Sophia, go ahead.
So welcome to this live. Today we want to really speak with you and get a bit of knowledge for you to just share your years of experience and wisdom about the real estate industry for people that are listening or watching. This is Dr. Stephen Akintayo. He's the CEO and the MD of GTEX Homes and GTEX Global, multinational company that really specializes in real estate, land banking, luxury homes, anything that has to do with real estate. He's the master planner, the master builder. So welcome to the show. Yes, we have to hype you so that they know that they are a sense of exactly.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you for having me.
So
and welcome.
Welcome,
yes.
everybody. So can you just tell us about GTEX Homes and what you do? Hi, Lola. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. I'm very excited to be joining this Instagram Live. We're going to be having an amazing time. So please, everybody, log on and you'll be gaining a wealth of knowledge. Yes. You're welcome, Dr. Stephen.
Thank you. We've been waiting for you, Lola of Africa.
I was rushing to be able to seat myself very, because I know that the conversation we're going to be having is going to be serious and enriching. So I didn't want to be in transit while we're having this discussion. And thank you very much, Instablog, for hosting us today.
Beautiful.
Yes. Welcome.
So I think we can go ahead. So Sophia is here. You know Sophia. And
yes, our head of brand communication.
Instablog is as anonymous as they've always been.
Oh, yes.
So the topic for today that we're discussing is real estate wealth, how to make over 500% ROI in land banking in 5 years. And it sounds crazy, but I bet you with land banking, you can do this. So, Dr. Akintayo, our first question for you is land banking the way forward for the Nigerian industry in terms of real estate?
Okay, thank you very much for having me. Thank you so much. It's good to be here. First question you asked earlier was GTEX Home. So we started GTEX Home 14 years ago at a digital marketing firm. 7 years ago, we expanded into real estate and built a multi-billion-dollar corporation in 4 continents. We're in Dubai, London, Florida, in the US, as well as in different cities in Nigeria. And we thank God for that success story we've had. Land banking is one of the ways to build wealth particularly if you don't have enough capital to start real estate. Where our head office is here in Banana Island. One of the ways to make money in Banana Island is to buy an off-plan house here. So when the developer is building, before he completes the house, you pay him 450 million for the house. And we're talking about 6-bedroom, duplex kind of house. Now, guess what? By the time the house is completed with all the infrastructure, you can sell it as high as 900 million, right? Is that, quick? And we call that property flipping. But how many people have 450 million in the first place to even buy a house? But when it comes to land banking, you can start with as little as 5 million or 10 million or 20 million or 30 million, right? And still almost enjoy the level of growth as those who are doing property flipping, who have huge capital to do it. And I'll give you an example. There's one of my students who bought a particular property in Lekki Phase 2. It's called Nikon Estate, right? And he bought that property for very low amount, for 12 million. This was 18 years ago. 3 years ago, I marketed the property for him for as high as 220 million. You won't believe this.
Wow. 220
million for a property that was sold, that he bought for just 12 million 15 years ago, because it was 10 years ago that this happened. I personally, for example, as well, there are properties I bought, 7 years ago for as low as 750,000 naira. And today, some of those properties are going for 10 million, some are going for 15 million. And in some cases, I bought as high as 20 acres, I bought as much as 50 acres. In some places, I got access to even. So when it comes to really building massive wealth, right? Massive wealth, real estate and land banking becomes something that is easy for a lot of people to be able to do. And in fact, one of the things I also teach people is to say, even if you don't even have the 10 million or 20 million or 50 million, another strategy you can do is to look for a credible company that is selling property, sell for them, okay, and you earn commission. Start using your commission to tie it into land banking, right? Because again, that was how I started. So I started my journey in the real estate sector. I didn't have money like that. So I started by marketing for credible real estate companies. And as I was selling, I did it with 5 fingers. I started buying few plots there. And today, by the grace of God, I will build a multi-billionaire corporation in terms of real estate assets. So anybody can do it, but you need to understand the rudiments. And I hope that as we continue this training today, people will get to understand what is land banking and other aspects of land banking.
Thank you. Lolo?
Thank you.
Over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, because this land banking, a lot of people that do not know much about wealth creation would consider it like a new concept. A lot of them know it in practice, but maybe now we're able to put some a very wonderful way to describe it as land banking. I think one of the things that really bother Nigerians, especially when it comes to wealth creation, is the inability to allow time. A lot of young people that I know a lot of high earners that are in the youth sector, in the youth bracket. I'm talking about from about 25 to about 45. They earn very high in their workplaces that they can actually put their investment into things like land banking. But one of the things that beguiles Nigerians is the fact that we cannot seem to, we want quick returns. What can we say to this kind of sector especially young money that have money to invest, but they don't have the staying power. If you talk to a young person now, they'll tell you that they want their ROIs. I wrote down what you said about the friend that bought the land for 12 million some years ago and over 220 million. That is mind-boggling. So what can we say to them to be able to have confidence, or how do we get that interest in them to be able to stay, to allow their properties accrue interest?
Very good question, and thank you for that. One thing I realize in the sector is ignorance. There's so much ignorance in the system, and a lot of young people do not even understand how wealth is built. And the older generation know this. They will tell you, you are not yet a man until you have real estate. But the new generation, and because of technology, we are too used to things happening like this, fast, quick, you know. But what I've always said is this: look at how FaceTime, I said FaceTime, MySpace was the king of social media years ago. Some people don't even know what MySpace is. But people didn't know that social media, what you now know as Facebook, actually used to be MySpace. And everybody was, but today, MySpace is no longer in existence. Imagine how many of us forgot that Yahoo used to be the official email. Right?
Yes.
You know, adaku@yahoo.com. They'll say,
.com.
Like, who still use Yahoo? Everybody's using Gmail.
Gmail.
Imagine years ago, we all were carrying Nokia phones around. Nokia, you know, everything was not. Today,
Nokia 3310, sir. That was the top phone at that time.
Yes.
They call it Ojaboko 4.
So, imagine how today, who knows Nokia? What is Nokia? So I tell young people, I say, look, technology change, it evolves, it moves on. But 20 years from now, you will still need a roof over your head. You will still need, you know, when I went to Silicon Valley, I was shocked when I saw how Google campus was bigger than UI. Google campus, office of Google, and it's just one of the campus was bigger than the whole of University of Ibadan. And University of Ibadan is one of the biggest universities.
It's huge.
Huge. So I then realized that even these tech companies we're talking about are big investment, massive real estate investment. So if we're serious about building long-lasting wealth, I tell people that there are 4 things real estate will do for you. Real estate is the way to make money. Real estate is the way to manage money so that you don't lose it. Because the other thing to make money is the other thing to manage money. Number 3, real estate is the way to multiply money. Like the one I just told you now, I bought some property for as low as 750,000. They are going for 10 million today. Some are going for 15 million today. Right? So real estate is the way to multiply money. And then number 4, real estate is the way to transfer wealth to the next generation.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you know, imagine you have kids now. The only way Lola can leave wealth for our children that is durable is real estate. Right? And that's how you transfer. So children, the house my mom built is still there. It's in some gutter, but it's still there. The property is still there. Tenants are still paying rent. And so it can do 4 things. And for me, is you can start at your level, but if you are serious about building wealth, then you want to start with real estate. I mean, even celebrities are catching that ball. I mean, Davido is set to just buy another property in Banana Island and all of that. AY or Jazzy, they are catching that fire as well. The young entertainers are realizing, because seeing how many big entertainers, you know, years later, you see many of them asking for money for surgery, money for, you know, we wish them good health on time. For many, will tell you that when money was coming, when they were ready, they did not put money into real estate, because if they had done that, many of them, even if it's tenants rent, right, it will sustain them. And if you see some of these old celebrities in their 80s, there are some of them who are still doing well, and it was real estate investment. One of them is, for example, Tunde Kelani. He's not even 70s yet, but Tunde Kelani went to buy some property in Abeokuta, where he started an academy and things like that. Until today, that thing is sustaining that man. And you can go on several people like that who put in money, even Baba Wande and people like Oga Bello. Like when you look at
Yinka Quadri.
Yeah, you know, Jideko Soko, some of them were able to tie some. They are getting older, they are not getting opportunities like the younger guys. But those of them who tied something to real estate are still able to live a dignified and well-standard life.
Yes, thank you. That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
So someone left a comment and she's saying that real estate takes a lot of time to multiply. So she's thinking of when you tie your investments to real estate and it's taking so long, how do you make up for that time that you're putting into it? So what makes you think that, okay, if I'm waiting 5 years, at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it for me to tie my investments to this particular land?
Beautiful. So yes, land banking takes time. And when you want to do land banking, you're looking for right location. In fact, what is location, location, location? And how do you do that? You ask yourself, where's population growth going to? Somebody made a very unwise statement earlier and said, watch out, very soon, real estate will be cheap in Lagos. And that's a very ignorant statement, right? Because according to Washington Post, by the year 2100, Lagos will jump from less than 20 million population to 80 to 100 million by the year 2100. Meaning, you are talking about the if you own any piece of real estate, right, you are going to be stinkingly wealthy. That's the meaning of that. As I speak to you, here in Banana Island, land is sold by square meter. Okay, so this box you are seeing is 2 square meter, this box. And so that means per square meter right now is going from 1.2 to 1.8 million. So if you are buying at 1.2, that means this is 2.8 million, just this box here.
Oh, wow.
Here in Banana Island.
Wow.
And it's happening under our nose, and Banana Island is part of Lagos. So what will happen when the population of Lagos is 80 million? Is 100 million, right? It was the same way years ago. People were being told to buy Banana Island. And they were saying, forget that one. That's how they will be talking. Buy Banana Island. You know, the thing will take forever. People who were smart to have invested in Banana Island, today, you know the story. By the way, Banana Island is expensive land in the world, in the whole of the world, right? Because New York is supposed to be the most expensive, but they don't sell land in Manhattan. That's Manhattan. They sell floors. So you can only buy from the 50th floor to the 70th floor, or from the 30th floor. They don't sell land anymore in Manhattan. You don't even have the land anymore. So next is Banana Island in terms of expensive land. So anybody thinking it takes time, 5 years will still come. Imagine where you were 5 years ago. It will still happen. And right now, there are even locations that are appreciating literally in 12 months. Literally in 2 years. We have one of our estates that we started 2019. It was going for 1.5 million when we started that property. 1.5 million. Right? And today, the estate is going for 15 million. Some people still bought yesterday. Right? For 15 million naira. So real estate is moving fast. People are making good money. The question is, are you going to be one of those who will take advantage of it? In 2 years, you can, if you get the right mentorship, the right training, you know, the right location, you can make the right, and that's what I mentor people on. I charge a lot to I charge as much as $20,000 to mentor people on making the right investment decision in real estate in the UK, in the US, in Dubai, as well as in Nigeria as well. But is a choice to prioritize building wealth. One of the things we've seen with this generation is a lot of young people never learned about what we're teaching. A lot of young people don't know about these things. A lot of people, do you know there are young people who still don't know you can make it legitimately in Nigeria? They don't believe.
Of course.
They don't even know, which is why you're seeing a lot of our youth going to criminality, right? Because people don't even know. Last year, we paid almost 300 million in commission to young people who sold property for our company, GTEX Homes. Last year, we still bought, we gave out 2 cars this last month or this month.
Last Christmas.
No, this month.
Yes, and January.
Yes, January 28th, we presented 2 cars, brand new cars to young people. So, but because our youth, which is why I am, beginning to do a lot of these free trainings on social media, like, using Instablog. Macaroni hosted me the other time, AY Comedia hosted me. Because if we all don't take this issue of educating our people on how to build wealth legitimately, may it not be your relative that will soon be used for money ritual.
Amen.
And they are claiming.
Amen.
Amen.
Right? So we need to take responsibility to start educating people on how to legitimately build wealth. And I can assure you, real estate, land banking is one of those credible ways to do that.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen. I know you personally, and I know how passionate you are about educating the minds of our young people. And I'm particularly thankful for the platform that we're on, which is our Instablog. A lot of young people patronize this particular space. And even though they are seeking fun and games and things that they just laugh and play about, one of the things that I know that we have a problem with in Nigeria is that in some spaces, poverty has become something that they have weaponized. And a lot of people do not know that for you to be able to break free from poverty, you need to break free in your mind.
Yes.
True.
A lot of people are on this space watching us now at this very moment. And you just talked, I was there in December when one of our subsidiaries, GTEX Homes, gave 2 cars to young people.
Yes.
The people that won, I'm sure they are not even up to 35. 2 of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are on this platform. And I know you spoke a little about your free mentorship program.
Yeah.
Is it still open to young people to be able to come into the sector? Now we're not even just talking about, some of them have great sales techniques.
Yes.
I have seen how some young man made me buy some pots that I don't need. And I was like, wow, because he believes in what he's selling. He made me feel like all the pots in my house will kill me in the next few weeks. And I have to buy the pots, whether I liked it or not. But this, what you are offering our youth or the population generally, is an ability to be able to, I wrote everything you say down. I like writing what you say.
Yes.
I know a lot of young people know how to make money, but they don't know how to manage it. That is one of the things that our youths are suffering from, management of money. Because if you don't know how to manage money, they probably cannot get to the level of multiplying money. That means when your money begins to work for you and you are not doing anything. Sir, what are the opportunities available on your platform that young people can get in on?
Yes.
I know you mentor people, not just on real estate. There's so much mind training I've seen you do in 2021. And this year, I know that there are new goals, new targets. What programs are available for them to get in on? So that imagine if we're able to get, even if it's 20% of our youth off the street in this marketing. I know some Agbero have more marketing skills than even some people in tie.
Yes.
I'm telling you, They
Right.
will canvass you to join a bus that you don't even want to go the way. You might just enter Ibadan because of the way the guy is encouraging you. Imagine if we're able to get some of our population, of our youth, off the streets, off drugs. What programs are available, Dr. Stephen?
Thank you very much. And I can see a lot of you are asking questions. At some point, we'll take your questions as well. So if we're not answering them yet, don't worry. Very soon, we'll take your questions. We created a program, and I've just pinned the number. It's called www.gtexandassociate.com. You can go right now and join and register. It's free. And you will be mentored. In fact, every Thursday now, 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 3 p.m., we organize free trainings for those of you here in Lagos, in Banana Island, free training in Ibadan, Abuja, Asaba, different parts. You know, we do us as well in Dubai, where you're able to learn the principle of real estate, how to get into real estate, how to start making money in the real estate sector. God has used me to mentor so many people who today are doing well financially in the real estate sector and didn't start with any cash, but they started as brokers. And today their life has changed. So I just pinned the page. You can go register on that page, www.gtexandassociates.com, gtexandassociates.com. Once you register, you also get an invitation to join a WhatsApp group. Okay, and on the WhatsApp group, you can ask questions, you can get mentored, you can get training, and so much more. And I think that one of the things that is important, I have to say here, is we need to know that for you to build wealth, you have to first of all be hungry for success.
Yes.
Like Lola said, poverty has been weaponized that some people do not want to even be rich. And I've said it over and over again. There's nothing to be proud of about being poor. Two poor people cannot help themselves, right? Two poor people cannot help themselves. And may the soul of my late mother rest in peace. The death of my mother really opened me up to the fact that, look, there's nothing to glorify about poverty, right? The death of my mother really showed me that, because she died of ovarian cancer. And I remember how, because she was a civil servant, she went to teaching hospital for 6 months, and they could not even diagnose what was wrong with her, right? Literally for 6 months. At some point, our boss was almost in tears when he saw her tummy was protruded, and she looked like a 9-month pregnant woman. So he said, you know, if we, the staff, will contribute money to pay for your hospital to diagnose what's going on, let's send you to a private clinic. So they sent her to a co-hospital in Mobolaji, Bakantoni. What teaching hospital could not diagnose in 6 months, in 4 days, they were able to discover that it was ovarian cancer. In 4 days. In 4 days. But unfortunately at that point, the cancer had spread. 3 days or so after the surgery, she died. That experience taught me that there's nothing to like about poverty. Nothing to like about poverty. Nothing. Because we would have sent her to a good hospital. We would have been able to diagnose many people survive ovarian cancer. In fact, I think it started as ovarian yeast, not even cancer. It was not being able to diagnose it and removing it on time that then led to what happened. But because we were poor, everybody around us was poor. If we had even a rich relative, I'm sure the person would have said, no, aburo mi, or if the person was my mom's older brother or the person was younger, would have said, no, my older sister cannot be going through this. Take her to the hospital. And I remember the death of my mom taught me that, and I vowed, I remember when she died, I vowed to make it legitimate. Because it just dawned on me, there is nothing to celebrate about poverty. May you not be in a position where you have some tough issues. That's when you realize that, look, there's nothing to be saying, hey, who knows who is rich. Listen, if there are legitimate ways to make it, you better begin to learn how to do it, particularly when it won't cost you money and all you need to do is to learn, right? Somebody can say, how are we sure it's going to be true, it's legit, is this? Listen, as long as they're not asking me to pay any money, I want to test it out. I want to try it. I have nothing to lose. And this is the mindset we need to have. If you keep trying it till you get what is right.
Yes.
As long as you're hungry. But the issue sometimes that we're not hungry for success. Many of us are just comfortable being where we are. Many of us are okay being where we are. Right? I used to paste posters from somewhere that we get along. I had no luxury of thinking what somebody once asked me, said, how did you endure your poor state when you and you kept pushing till you made it? I said, I had no choice. I had no choice. When poverty hits you to a level, you have no choice than to just keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. So for me, that's the secret to the opportunities that we have today. So young people can try it out and see how it works.
So for some of us, thank you, sir, for that, because that's really very enlightening. So for some of us that are young people, we don't have a lot of capital to be able to buy the land. Are there any opportunities where we can invest our monies, where you can now do the banking on our behalf and then we get our returns? Is there any opportunity for that?
Yes, there are, but it's important to know, and I think this is very important, that it's important to know that you have to know that there's nothing of value that is free. If you want anything of value, you need to know that there is a process to that. And by the way, there's nothing like get rich quick. Real estate is never a get rich quick scheme, right? Even the process of marketing real estate is not easy. For you to be able to convince somebody to buy property worth 10 million from you, you will talk your life. You must dress, you must talk to I can see some people here spitting rubbish, right? Some young people cannot make a straight sentence, one sentence without using language, right? Without using their father. Now, you can't sell property to me that way, right?
At all.
I mean, some people have specialized in becoming a troller, right? You cannot succeed by trolling. The people you should be disturbing to say, come and buy you, God bless you, and using good words, seasoned words to talk to. You've already trolled them. You've already said nonsense because
yes,
that can use social media, or it is you that your mouth is sharp and can talk anyhow. But it's important to know that of what value is that? How has that moved anyone forward? Right? So opportunities are there, yes. And you can take advantage. There are people who say, hey, I don't even want to buy property, I want to invest. We have the GVest cooperative. We put together a cooperative program where people put their funds together and we keep investing in real estate and they get returns at the end of the day. Those opportunities are there as well. So what we've done is to say, you don't have any money, you can start by marketing and begin to learn. And over time, that's how I started. As you make 10%, because we pay 10% on every property you sell. If it's land, if it's house, 5%. If you sell our property in Dubai, it's 2%. If you sell our property in the UK, it's 1% commission that you get. Now, you start that process. Over time, you can build enough funds to start your own property, right? And so those are some of the things you can start doing. Or you can invest with GVest Cooperative, join our cooperative program and start gradually in terms of pulling funds together and keep building and expanding. And of course, you get returns in terms of cash returns as well. Or you can choose to even buy a property if you can afford it as well.
Well, thank you so much. I love the way we're focusing on young people. I want to ask again because I belong to a lot of women are waking up into doing bigger things, taking leadership positions. I belong to like a group of friends that will teach each other about finances. We look at opportunities. We look at things that we can do together. Are there opportunities for like corporations, associations to be able to pull their resources together? Imagine if Nigeria Union of Journalists came to us and say, this is what we are able to pull together. Can you create maybe like an estate for us or help us to help the people that are in our association? Are those like association of hairdressers, association of pepper sellers? You will be surprised, sir, that some of the women in Lagos, the amount of resources they can pull together as an association would stagger you. But the only thing a lot of them do not have is knowledge. And many of them are falling into the hands of scammers. Are there opportunities for associations, women associations, even male associations to come together and get some kind of packages from the company?
Beautiful question, and thank you for this. You know, we've been working with several cooperatives in this area. In fact, last year we partnered with NIMASA. In fact, last week we still had Chevron, no, is it ExxonMobil Cooperative? Mobile Cooperative guys, some of their executives came to this office, and we're already in talk on how to provide something customized. So yes, we are open to working with associations, with cooperatives, with group of people, as long as amongst yourself you are united, you are well structured. We can always work something out for you guys. But it's also important to really clearly say that real estate isn't that cheap in Nigeria. Okay, so if people are trying to go into this, they have to know that it's not as if it's that cheap. And I tell people, why is real estate expensive? It's because of population growth. Some families still give back to 55 kids. Some give back to 9. Some give back to 6. And as long as population continue to grow, right, real estate will continue to be what? More expensive, as long as populations keep going higher. So it's important to know that, look, we are willing to work with associations, but they also need to be sure that they are all structured and they can afford it. One of the things that some of the cooperatives we've worked with had to do was to provide loan for their members to be able to take advantage of some of these properties, right? Because all this affordable property, affordable housing, we also have to be realistic in terms of the uniqueness of Nigeria. So I give you a example. For example, if you want to buy in let's say Dallas, Texas, a 3-bedroom in certain well-developed neighborhood in Dallas, you are looking at about $250,000, right, for a single family home. Now, if you convert that $250,000 to Naira, right, to Naira, okay, you will realize that that $250,000 will probably give you 4 units of 3-bedroom in Nigeria. But what has developed world done that has made it easy for people to afford real estate? All you need to pay in that kind of Dallas 3-bedroom is just 10 to 20% of that entire money. So once you drop like $30,000, you can pay the balance in the next 30 years, right? And that's why it then looks as if people are able to, that's why some of you have had relatives, they left Nigeria, the Japa gang, to Canada or to US or to UK. 6 months down the line, you see them taking picture in front of your house and say, today in the morning, my house. And you're like, eh? In fact,
How did that happen?
That has made a lot of Nigerians to think
that once you leave Nigeria, you don't make up. You know,
you pick paper and money for road.
Yeah.
they used to give money for transportation. Suddenly travel in front of a new house, it has a new car, and like
Everything.
But,
yes.
but what happened in those parts of the world does not necessarily mean real estate is cheap. In fact, there's something they do in the UK for first-time buyers. As long as you're a citizen, you're a UK citizen, first-time buyers, right? They have this structure where you are able to even, the government decided to say, you know, there are lenders who help you with the funds for the mortgage. So government now people say, just go 5%. We will pay the 50%, then the lender brings 20, 30, 80%. They do that for first-time buyers in the UK. In fact, in London, they had to increase what they give them in London for first-time buyers. And we work with people in the UK for this as well, who are UK citizens and are trying to buy property of their own. But in Nigeria, you don't have that level of support. So oftentimes when media people are telling me, Dr. Stephen, affordable housing in Nigeria, affordable, I'm saying, look, the affordable housing issue has nothing really to do with the developer, but everything to do with the structure that government is providing, right, for our people. And I also realize that this is very important, that we, the people, are also not engaging the government. Okay? For example, one of the things, I'm starting a new TV show where I want to start engaging people in governance, to start asking them questions, right? And somebody says first-time buyers is a scam. In the UK, it's not a scam. I'm not saying Nigeria. In Nigeria, you can say everything is a scam. You know, in Nigeria, it's not everything is scam. Everything is 419. I'm talking about UK, my brother. You see, some of you need to open your mind and open your ears and listen, right? Listen. We say UK, as well as a scammer. Okay? Okay. Oh, Lord help us. But this is also, Lola, one of the challenges that our generation is missing, okay, why we are not even able to engage those at the top. Right? That's why we're not able to engage everything. When many of our young people, not all, are not even willing to listen and have a reasonable mental conversation. Right?
You know,
deep level conversation, they are not ready. Right?
And, you know, those are the things that I enjoy that you do. You know, when we're on a platform like this, I hardly would read comments, because young people that should put their head in, I keep telling people that we don't have deficit of knowledge in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
We just need the right place to channel this knowledge. If all our youngsters are this excellent in fraudulent practices, imagine if they can channel this same brain activity to legitimate work. Don't you imagine the amount of human capital wealth we have in Nigeria?
But Lola, that will not happen until we open our hearts. You know, one of the things you were saying was how, you know, some of our political elites have found a way to almost institutionalize poverty, weaponize poverty. And what poverty does, and I've said this again, what poverty does is worse than you not having money to do something. What poverty also will do is your ability to be bold to even check things out. Right? Yes. People be bold to check things out, to even understand how systems work. For example, one of the things I realize some people do, even when they go outside the country, is to continue the poverty mentality that they started in Nigeria. Carry it to US, carry it to UK. For example, somebody can be chatting me up here and say first-time buyer is a scam. First of all, are you a UK citizen? Second of all, do you have a good source of income to prove that the 5% that government has said you should pay. So because you cannot afford that money, right? Now it's scam in the UK, right? And then you will tell other, do you know how many people God used me to deliver in diaspora who entered the US and they were telling them, nothing. We all humble ourselves. And before you start that nursing, go and start security job, right? You earn $10 an hour, $15 an hour. You will now go back to school. You that you study mechanical engineering, they say you go and
Engineering.
You can't do nothing. Why? Because of the wrong network of people they met. And some of them, they were not doing it out of wickedness. They didn't know better. It's the straight road when I came to America that you two must use. Some of them even know, but they want you to go through this level of wahala they went through. I remember someone was saying to me, he said, Dr. Stephen, why is it that, you know, Africans, even in diaspora, will not invest in training their fellow African men? They finally saw it, they finally figured it out, but they will not teach their fellow people to say, this is how the system works. You don't need to struggle, okay, all over again, right? Like other people have been, but unfortunately, people won't even do that. So we need to change the mindset of our people. I have been investing so much in doing that, and God has been helping me in investing in educating the mindset of our people, helping to educate our people and change their mindset. And I thank God for how many people took advantage of what we've been doing, and it's been amazing.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So just to stop and summarize everything you said, we really appreciate the not understanding more about the real estate industry. Some of you that have questions, have pinned the page below. They can go to the website, talk to people that will engage with you, that ask the question. Anything you want to invest, how we do, how his company can flex home help you with banking and get, even if you don't have enough capital to buy, he will provide a consultant that will help explore all your opportunities. So, sir, just to round up, what we say to is they're thinking of huge real estate idea.
I think your network is,
it's
breaking.
Breaking so badly, we can hardly hear you.
But if I get you right, what you were saying is that what can people do to take advantage? What can people do? What are the opportunities they can take advantage of to go to real estate? Well, what I would recommend, first of all, and I think this is very important, you need somebody to guide you, right? As to how do you invest in real estate the right way so that you are not taken advantage of, whether in the US, whether in the UK. How do you get to be supported? How do you get to be trained? How do you get to be, and I say this very, very well, when you want to get somebody to mentor in real estate, make sure they have results in the area they are trying to mentor you in. Because one of the things that I have seen over and over again is situations where people do not get any tangible guidance, okay? And nobody's mentoring them, nobody's guiding them, and they just go and make sensible, serious investment decisions, and they end up losing money. I remember meeting a woman in the US who said to me that she lost 4 properties that she got in the US during the 2008 crisis. And one of the things I said to her, I said, did you really go for training on how to really do real estate investment? Did you learn about, because I think she used equity line of credit to start acquiring a lot of properties, which is one of the ways to expand your real estate in the US. But you are using equity home line of credit, but did you learn about, property management? Did you learn about how to rent out that property? Did you learn about how to make sure that the tenant is the one paying for your mortgage? So she didn't learn all these things. So at the end of the day, of course, she lost all this property. Make sure there is training, there's mentorship, there's guidance. And today what I'm going to do is to allow 5 people to get opportunity. I will link them up with what those we call our wealth advisors, who can guide you on how to go into whatever real estate investment that you want to make. Okay, how do you go about it? But let me also say this, and this is very important. Money is a reward for risk that you're taking, right? So in business and in life, you have to take risks. And all those we call rich people today, they were risk takers, as long as they made it legit.
Yeah.
Anybody advising you not to take risk is only formally welcoming you to poverty club. You can show me any rich man anywhere in the world, they took risk. And guess what? They lost money.
Yes.
I once lost 120 million in real estate in Nigeria. And I remember I vowed that year, I said, this real estate, all done, I die. This one I've lost this much. I am going to make it in this sector. Today, same real estate is a multi-billionaire empire. So losing money is one of those things. Is how you learn. Is the question, did you learn from it? Did you, figure out a way not to continue losing? But one of the easiest ways to prevent losing money is to be guided. So today, the first 50 people to chat this number up, +447949652845. Again, +447949652845. Now, there are a couple of rules. Number 1, you must state your full name. Number 2, you must state your budget. How much do you want to use to invest in real estate? Number 3, where exactly do you want to invest in real estate? Okay, and those are the key things that you want to look out for. Once you're able to chat, someone will attend to you, will link you up with one advisor who will ask you questions and guide you on how to do your real estate investment. Yes, somebody say talk is cheap. Absolutely, talk is cheap. But well, I lost money and I made it back. Okay, and that's why the story is sweet today. There is no man anywhere in the world that made it without losing money. Not one.
Exactly.
Not one. Not one. Except they didn't make it legitimately. Facebook announced Metaverse. A lot of people were excited. Guess what? The same Facebook has just lost over $5 billion.
Yes.
Just the Metaverse that they announced. And that's the funny thing about wealth is risk. It can work, it may fail. But if you don't take the risk, you never know. And if you fail, dust yourself, move on. Don't copy and see how they swindle. This is the reason why many Africans are not building wealth. Once you lose money, you call pity party around yourself. Everybody starts saying, hey, I told you, why did you do that investment? We're telling you, please, they don't like you, right? And I'm telling you the truth here. Anything about life and success and wealth is about taking risk. Nobody made it without taking risk. The entire concept of metaverse, even me, when Mark Zuckerberg announced it, I felt this thing, it doesn't make sense. But funny enough, people started investing, right? But unfortunately, again, the thing is going down. So that's the way life works. Wealth and building wealth for yourself is taking risk. It can work, it may not work, but again, you will never know. If you don't want to be wealthy, don't take risk. I have always said not all of us must be rich, right? And being rich is not by force, right? You can choose to say, I'm okay with my life. I don't want to take risk. I don't want to. And in fact, I always say this, and you know, as we're wrapping up, that it takes being smart to be poor, right? It takes being smart to be poor. Because for you to be poor, I mean, the word P-O-O-R is passing over opportunities repeatedly. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. That's how to be poor. So you see opportunities, you an analysis that leads to paralysis. You say, it doesn't work. And, well, you are right, funny enough, because many have tried it and they lost. But if you can also say it works. Some tried it and it still worked for them. The cup is either half full or half empty. It's how you see it. And it's always on to you according to your faith.
Wow. I don't know, maybe because I know Dr. Stephen personally, I am the wealth of knowledge that he's sharing tonight, these are things that people pay big money to go to business schools internationally to be able to acquire these simple nuggets of knowledge. And I know that one of the things that we fail at is the application of the things that we hear. A lot of us come to seminars, we come to teaching sessions, you are not even taking notes, you are not trying. Dr. Stephen has kept hammering on things like having a circle that mentors, a mentorship circle where you'll be able to, sir, why people run away from mentorship? I've found out that they are not willing to submit themselves to a training and discipline process. And that is why a lot of young people will never, and they don't understand that if you learn how to submit, then you're on your way to becoming a great leader. They think it's by just coming in and money just falls on you. Mentorship is like, I tell people, is like, I'm sorry to use, it's like becoming like a house help. Because you must take instruction, you must be willing to be taught, you must be taught how to be accountable. And those are the things that young people run away from. Accountability. They don't want to be held responsible for their actions. And that is why they would continue to stay where they are. But as long as you are able to be accountable, that means you'll be held you'll be held accountable for the things or the decisions that you make. There's so many people that are asking questions on the platform. I don't know if it's time for us to take one or two.
Yeah, I think we can take one or two questions. First of all, I need you guys to know that this is a lecture, it's enlightenment, it's training. It's not programmed to sell anything to you guys. It's just to educate you about the real estate sector, the opportunities, how to tell. Some of you who have joined us from the beginning, you were able to tell you what is land banking, how does land banking work, and that's really what this training today was about. And you're free to ask questions about real estate, about what you don't understand about taking advantage of real estate, and that's really what we are focusing on. Because if you don't get trained, if you are not trained, you will not reign, right? If you don't reign, you know, and information is how to prevent being deformed. Right, so you have to be informed if you won't be deformed, and that's what we're trying to do today. Just educating. Yesterday I was on another blog, I think Goldmine blog, and we're just investing in teaching and teaching and teaching. Many will take advantage of it, some will not, but again, it's not for everyone.
Yes. Someone is asking, is the Nigerian economy not a threat to investing in real estate? So I don't know how you want to address that. So.
Very good question. Nigerian economy is a threat to investing in real estate. It is a threat. That is a fact. And so you are right with that question. However, the reason why real estate continues to do well in Nigeria is also the fact that, and it's very important, there is a huge population growth. Even the National Assembly at some point were asked whether there's something that can be done as regards to reducing Nigerian population, because we just keep growing every day. The population keep growing, and real estate is actually a function of population growth, right? So as long as we keep having more, more people who are, increasing in Nigeria, real estate continues to be a huge demand. And what is happening is that the challenges, the inflation is not meeting up to the population, to demand. Demand and supply ultimately is what affects anything you're doing, right? So for me, those are basically how it works.
Okay, sir. So thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge. And for those, the number is still pinned on the screen. You can follow him, and you still get the contact details from his page. You can follow GTEX Homes to get more information about this. Thank you so much, Lola. I think our internet went out. So
Number is 447949652845. Can you call it again?
Plus 447949652845. Plus 447949652845. So send a WhatsApp message. You really need to learn about these things, because knowledge is power. You only have the strength if you know what you're dealing with, especially in this industry. So knowledge is wealth. Thank you so much, Dr. Akintayo. Thank you, GTEX Homes, for bringing him to us to have this interview. And we hope to also have this again very soon.
Thank you for hosting this. I appreciate it. My regards and God bless.
Thank you. Have a lovely day. Thank you all for joining.